All right, guys, today is the day, opening day. I know technically Thursday was opening day with the Chiefs and the Detroit Lions, but today is where all the fun begins. Fantasy football week 1. And this video that you're seeing early this morning on Sunday is going to be the first of many today, including 2 live streams, one at 11:30 Eastern time, and then one to wrap it up at the end of the 4 o'clock games this afternoon. So make sure you're a subscriber. Instant injury videos, analysis, all that stuff all day long. If Austin Eckler goes down, a minute later I'll have a video posted discussing what happened and obviously who's next in line and the impact and how long he could be out, all of that stuff. So make this your destination for fantasy football week 1. Also have that notification button hit as well, so you know when new videos are added and new streams are added. All right, today I wanted to start off with our handcuff running back strategy. Now, anybody that's new to the channel probably wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Well, the handcuff running back strategy is something I formulated last season, and it actually worked out really well. A lot of instances where you wound up getting a very valuable piece for your roster at the running back position, throughout the course of the season. How this works is you pick up prospective handcuff backup running backs prior to their game starting. All right, and then if the starter ahead of them, let's say for example Tank Bigsby, right? I pick up Tank Bigsby before the Jaguars game today, and then if Travis Etienne, who's the starter, makes it through the game fine, then I will drop Bigsby and then look to the next batch of games at 4 o'clock to see if somebody else I can pick up. If Etienne gets hurt, I already have the handcuff on my roster. Don't have to fight through the waiver process or the fab money or any of that other stuff. And so it's a proactive move to get these guys on your roster. So, and really to start it off on Thursday, you could have picked up Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and as a hedge in case Isaiah Pacheco got hurt. But Pacheco's fine, so then you drop Edwards-Helaire and you look at the 1 o'clock games to add players. This is, of course, only if you have an extra roster spot or two that, you can move pieces around with. All right, now let's look at the 1 o'clock games. Panthers-Falcons, right off the bat, you have Chuba Hubbard and Tyler Algier. Hubbard is not somebody I would really seek out in this strategy. Algier, absolutely. So if Algier is available, he's one of the top, handcuffs you can get. We saw him do it last year. He was a 1,000-yard rookie. He would have been a late second-round pick, early third-round pick this year if Bijan Robinson wasn't drafted. I think he's going to be used more than people expect, even with Robinson in the fold. And active, but Algier could be an overnight major asset if something were to happen to Robinson. So right off the bat, that's somebody I'm looking at. Texans and Ravens. I mean, Devin Singletary, we've seen the Devin Singletary show before. I'm not rushing to pick him up. The Ravens, listen, J.K. Dobbins can't ever stay healthy, but Gus Edwards is just not somebody, he doesn't catch the football. I'm not really as into him either. Bengals, Browns, you have Ford and Brown there, the backups, but I'm looking to do better than that. Jaguars, Colts, 1 o'clock. All right, obviously we're avoiding all Colts, but Tank Bigsby. If Tank Bigsby's available, you pick him up for the strategy 100%. He can catch the ball. He's a banger between the tackles. He might even be the goal line back right out of the gate. So him and Algier right away stand out. Rest of the 1 o'clock games, Buccaneers, Vikings. Ty Chandler, you could definitely look at for the Vikings, but I would have him well beyond Bigsby and Algier. And then the Buccaneers, you're not doing anything there. Titans, Saints. Listen, Tajay Spears, he's worth an ad. He's another guy who can catch the ball and run it. He's definitely worth an ad there. 49ers are down to only Jamal Williams. The Saints, 49ers, Steelers. Jaylen Warren's going to be owned. I don't think he's available anywhere. If Jaylen Warren is not owned, then he shoots right to the top of this list. But I'm going under the assumption he's owned in the majority of leagues. 49ers, Elijah Mitchell. Absolutely Elijah Mitchell I would pick up for this strategy as well. And then Cardinals and Commanders, Antonio Gibson is owned, and you don't want any Cardinals other than James Conner. So let's rehash 1 o'clock. Tyler Algier, Tank Bigsby, and Tajay Spears, and Eli Mitchell. Those are the 4 guys. If I were to rank them, I mean, I don't know what the health status of Mitchell is. I should check before I came on. But if I would have ranked them, I would probably have them Bigsby, Mitchell, Algier, and then Spears. All right. Now, if all those starters of those four guys I just mentioned all stay healthy, right? You just drop them before the 4 o'clock games. Now, and then you pick somebody else up for the 4 o'clock games. So Packers, Bears, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, they're both owned. Roscoe Johnson's interesting to me at the 4 o'clock games. All right, he's owned in more leagues than I thought, but he'd be somebody I'd be interested in because I would just jump right over Donta Foreman, and Khalil Herbert can't stay healthy. Raiders, Broncos. There's nothing really here that interests me because Javonte Williams is obviously going to be owned, and so is Samaje Perine. Dolphins, Chargers. The Dolphins, they're literally running Raheem Mostert into the ground today, and Devin Arshane is already owned, so nothing there. The Patriots, Ezekiel Elliott. I'm done with that. And then Eagles, for the Eagles, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Gainwell. If Kenneth Gainwell's available, I definitely would pick him up. So that's somebody I would look at the 4 o'clock games. Rams, Seahawks, you don't want any of the Rams. And Seahawks, Charbonnet is owned. Now, if Charbonnet is not owned, which he should be, he's the number one guy to pick up at 4 o'clock. There's no doubt about it. So you pick him up right away. And then Roscoe Johnson would be number 2. I think Kenneth Gainwell would be number 2. He's owned in a lot of leagues, though. Then Roscoe Johnson would be number 3. All right? And then Cowboys, Giants tonight. You don't want to own Matt Breida. Deuce Vaughn, certainly I would make the move there. And then Bills, Jets, Monday night. There's nothing that really interests me there. Obviously, Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall are owned. So that's the strategy. Those are the guys for this week. Make sure you do the strategy because, again, you'd have these guys ahead of time before anything were to happen. And check back with me 11:30 Eastern time for the live stream. Good stuff today, guys. Can't wait. I'll see you soon.